So in the last class, we have started our impact of jets on moving curved plates. Nothing but where the blade is moving, curved plate we have seen which is moving with a velocity of u. Okay, so we need to know this thing is which is very important, that is velocity triangles. So now I am showing how to draw the velocity triangle. Yesterday I have shown you what is the velocity triangles, right? So already we know that here the jet is hitting nothing but the nozzle is in an inclined position this way. So for initially what we need to do, we need to draw the water or the gel velocity coming out like this. So in this way the water is flowing with the velocity of v1, initial velocity of the jet. But as the plate is moving, this velocity will not hit the jet, but this velocity will not hit the blade or vane, right? So since the blade is also moving some velocity, so what we'll get a relative velocity, that which is the difference of both velocities. So the relative velocity will be there here, which will be a little bit lesser than v1, right? So first what you'll do after drawing v1, first make the components of v1, right? Assume that there's v1 is making an angle alpha with horizontal, nothing but in the horizontal direction it is making an angle alpha. So this alpha is called as guide blade angle. Okay, so alpha is the guide blade angle. Next what we need to know is we are going to draw the two components of v1, and v1 has two components, one in the vertical, so there will be a vertical component of v1 and there will be a horizontal component of v1. Okay, so this vertical component of v1 is called as vf1, which is nothing but flow velocity, inlet flow velocity, velocity of flow at inlet. So this vf1 will be equal to, what is that? Vertical component of v1, nothing but when we make this v1 vertical, what happens? It becomes like this. This arrow should move vertically upward. So it is v1 sine alpha. So vf1 is always equal to v1 sine alpha. Okay, that's what also I'm writing here only. So vf1 should be equated to v1 sine alpha. So this is the vertical component which is called as vf1. And similarly, we will be having a horizontal component. So the length of this horizontal component will be v1. So this horizontal component is known as whirl velocity, vw1. Since we are taking at the inlet, those numbers 1 are given. So vw1 is called the velocity of whirl at inlet. So this is the horizontal component of v1. So horizontal component, when we resolve this v1 in the horizontal direction, we get v1 cos alpha, since it is coming in the horizontal direction. So v1 cos alpha is the in the horizontal component of this v1, right? So first we have seen only v1 and the component of v1 in x direction and in a y direction as vf1 and vw1, right? So this is the inlet velocity with which the jet is coming out. But actually what happens, there is a velocity with which the jet hits is vr1. This is the relative velocity at inlet. So vr1 will make an angle with horizontal as theta. Okay, so this is the relative velocity which will hit the jet. Okay, so vr1 is called your relative velocity of jet at inlet. Okay, this is the way for drawing the inlet triangle, velocity triangle at inlet. Okay, so this height is equal to v1 sine alpha, this is v1 cos alpha. And now we can tell that the distance between v1 and vr1 is called as your velocity of jet, u1. So this gap is nothing but u1. Nothing but between v1 and vr1 there will be a gap of always u1, that is nothing but velocity of the plate. So this is the procedure for drawing the inlet triangle, and we can give the name for this, that is a, alphabets a, this is b, and this at vr1 it is c, and here we can take it as d. Okay, so for finding the vane angles, nothing but for finding these angles in problems he'll ask to find the vane angle, that is vane angle is nothing but theta. We need to find theta when he will give alpha value. So there we need to use the sine rule. Sine rule, I think you all know what is the sine rule. So I will tell that afterwards, after finishing up the outlet triangle. So at outlet, if you see, first what happens, this VR, the velocity with which the jet is hitting is in VR1. So that VR1 will come out as VR2, which will be less compared to this one. So this will be your VR2, which will be coming out. VR2. And we'll have our Okay, first I'll draw a triangle. It will be easy for understanding. So draw a vertical line and a horizontal line. Then you can connect it. So this one more inclined line, right? So first we'll get VR2 out. So this is VR2, right? So for VR1, it is making angle theta here. So VR2 will make an angle phi, symbol phi. Next here it is V2, right? So what we know between V1 and V2, I'm nothing but between both VR2 and V2, the velocity will be your blade velocity, that is U2 here. Okay, right? So this always vertical component of V2. So this is V2, which will make an angle beta with the horizontal. This is angle beta, right? So this is the horizontal component of V2. Nothing but this will bend towards upside. So that is the V2 cos alpha, which will be our VW2 wall, which is just write on VW2 here. Next vertical component is VF2. Okay, so this is a process for writing the outlet triangle, right? So he will tell that in the problem, he'll tell that the outlet jet is coming with an angle of. So what is that? If you're telling, assume that if this is the inlet velocity with which it is coming out, V2 will be the outlet velocity. So he will give this angle. So this is the angle which will be given to us. Assume that this is some X. Okay, so this angle will be given to us. So by using this X value, we need to find beta from the quotient. Okay, because we will tell that the jet is coming out with a velocity of, the jet is coming out at an angle of some 130 degrees with respect to the flow, nothing but with respect to the movement of the blade here. So blade is moving towards in X direction. So there will be a deflection which is given for the jet which is coming out as V2. So this angle will be given mostly in all the problems, and we need to find beta by using this. Okay. Any doubt in this? If you are able to understand how to draw this, then only you can solve the problems. Okay. So this case will be when we get beta value less than 90 degrees. If beta is less than 90 degrees, nothing but after finding beta value, if you see it is less than 90 degrees, you can draw this triangle. Suppose if you get beta equal to 90 degrees, if it is beta equal to 90 degrees, this point will come and connect here. So at that moment, VW2 becomes 0, right? That already I said. Next, if beta value is getting more than 90 degrees, nothing but what happens, it should cross over this, it should come out. So beta will come out like this, and you will get a V2 to the outside like this, right? So VF1 will be vertical, but V2 will come out outside of this. So that will be the 3 cases when the difference of angles are, right? Anybody, if you have any doubt in this drawing, I will again, if you can ask me now, or else we'll go with a problem now. Okay. Right. Then we'll start with the problem, right? So we are going to take the problem 1 in the moving curved plate. Okay, so please check the question. A jet of water having a velocity of 20 meters per second. So what is this? Anyone can tell what is this? A jet of water having a velocity of 20 meters per second.
V1.
Yes, very good. It is V1. Nothing but from the jet, whatever the velocity is coming, that is always V1. Okay, so V1 strikes a curved vane which is moving with a velocity of 10 meters per second. What is this?
V2.
Wrong. It's not V2. Remember what is telling. If this velocity strikes a curved vane which is moving, what is moving? Curved vane is moving with a velocity of 10 meters per second. What is the velocity of vane? That's what velocity of blade.
U.
Yes, U value. So U value is given, that is U1 equal to U2 equal to U. That is 10 meters per second is the velocity of the blade or velocity of the plate or velocity of the vane. All the 3 terms are same. It is called as blade, plate, vane, anything. Okay. Next, what he said, the jet makes an angle of 20 degrees with the direction of motion of the vane. So what is this? The jet is making an angle. So what is the jet making an angle? V1 will be making an angle of 20 degrees with the direction of motion of the vane. So alpha is given to us. So right, remember here what I said. Where the jet is coming from the jet, if it is coming, it is velocity V1, and the jet is making an angle of 20 degrees with the, what is it? With the direction of motion of the vane at inlet. So at inlet means it is 20 degrees and leaves at an angle of 130 degrees. So what is telling? when the jet is coming with inlet angle of 20 degrees and it is leaving with an angle of, this value is given, X value, leaving with an angle of 130 degrees. This is not beta, remember. Okay, this is not beta, this is angle with which this V2 is making with respect to horizontal, nothing but in the direction of flow. That is the thing which is given here. So the direction of motion of the vane at outlet. Okay, so what is asking to find? Calculate vane angles. So what we need to find? We need to find what are the vane angles? Theta and phi are called as vane angles. Remember that theta and phi are called vane angles. Alpha and beta are called as guide blade angles. Okay, so we are going to find vane angles, that is theta and phi. So that one more condition is it, so that the water enters and leaves the vane without shock. So this is nothing but VR1 equal to VR2, where if there are no losses, so VR1 will be equal to VR2. That is the meaning. Okay, so work done per second is asking to calculate work done per second per unit weight of water striking the vane per second. So he's asking work done per second, again divided by weight per second, weight of the fluid per second. Okay, so this we'll see how to calculate. So first write down the question. Yes, just inform me after copying the question. Yes, can I go for the next slide? Right, so first we'll write down the given data. So remember, in the exam, he won't give any diagram to us. We need to draw the diagram, that like how I have shown here, we need to draw it. Not like this zigzag manner, you need to draw a little bit neatly. So it should look like this. Okay, so see here, what he has given is this angle. Angle of this V2, which is coming out, will be 130 degrees after coming out at the outlet. Okay. Right. So given data, what he has given, first he has given the velocity of jet. So V1 is 20 meters per second. Next, he has given velocity of the vane, that is U1 equal to 10 meters per second. Next, angle made by the jet at inlet alpha equal to 130 degrees. Angle made by the jet at the outlet in the direction of motion is 130 degrees. So beta equal to, so for calculating beta, we'll get 180 minus what is the angle given to us. Okay. 180 minus 130. So it is equal to 50. So you can see now it is less than 50. Sorry, it is equal to 50, which is less than 90 degrees. So then only you will get a figure like this. Suppose if you are getting 180 minus 90, but if you are getting 180 minus, if this angle is given as 90, so 180 minus 90, you will get as 90. So at that time, this point will touch here. Okay, so remember that. And one more thing, if it is greater than 90, suppose if you are getting 120 here, so what happens, this line will come outside like this. So depending upon the beta value, after checking the beta value, you need to draw the diagram at the outlet. So inlet will be always same. Okay, but only thing, the angles and values will be different. So remember, this diagram is very, very important for solving the problem. Otherwise, you cannot solve the problem, right? So in this problem, already we know the blade velocity will be always same. Okay, so that is U1 is equals to U2, which is equal to the given value of the velocity of the vane, that is 10 meters per second. And one more condition, he said that there is no shock or no loss, that is VR1, relative velocity will be same at inlet and outlet, VR1 equal to VR2. So in some problems for turbines, he will give a loss value there. So at that time, we can take VR1 equal to the loss value into VR2. But there is some loss because of the friction or something else. So there he will give the value of the what happening, the loss, right? So here we don't have any losses or any shock. So take the relative velocities as equal, VR1 equal to VR2. Right. So after writing the given data, what is asking to find first? Is asking to find the vane angles. So for finding the vane angles, we need to know the from the triangles, but from these triangles we need to find the unknown angles, right? So only thing which we know is this V1 value is given to us and this U1 value is given, right? So two lengths we know and we don't know any angle except alpha, right? So other angles we need to find by using the sine rule. Okay. Or general in a right angle triangle, if you know the right angle triangle, so sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, that also you can use. Okay. So first we'll go with the inlet triangle. So at inlet triangle, we need to find which value? We need to find theta, vane angle theta we need to find. Okay. So can I go for the next slide? Yes, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Anyone, if you respond, I can know. Right. After
Yes,
writing
sir.
this, okay, Prasad. Right. So first he is asking to find vane angles, which means theta and phi we need to find. Theta and phi. Right. So what I am doing is we are taking the triangle B, C, and D, because you see, we can find VF1 because we know V1. I think you know what is VF1. VF1 is nothing but a vertical component of V1. So already V1 is there, alpha is there. So we can find VF1 easily. So VF1 we can find. Okay. Right. So one VF1 value we know. We need to find the remaining terms, that is VR1 or CD value also we can find, because you know VW1 is the horizontal component of V1 and U1 value is already given. So CD length also we can find. Right. So now see from the triangle BCD. So you can see here B, C, and D. So it is a right angle triangle. So we know what is that? Tan theta equal to opposite side by adjacent, sine theta equal to opposite by hypotenuse, cos theta is equals to adjacent by hypotenuse. So anything you can use, right? So since we want unknown value of VR1, I don't know VR1, I want to find VR1, because other values we can find by using V1 and alpha, right? So how we will get VF1? VF1 equal to V1 vertical component. Vertical component will be V1 sine alpha here. VF1 equal to V1 sine alpha. Okay, right? So we found out VF1. Next VW1 also we can find, that is V1 cos alpha. So VW1 is equals to V1 cos alpha. That also we can find. U1, which is already given in the problem. V1 already given in the problem. So only things which we don't know here are the length of VR1, nothing but VR1 we don't know. So that we are going to find, as well as theta, which we don't know, right? So for finding theta, what we have to use is tan theta. So what is tan theta from this triangle? If you see, that is opposite side, which is BD. For this angle, the opposite side is BD. So BD divided by CD. Tan theta equal to BD by CD. So what is BD length? Which is equal to VF1. So BD equal to VF1. What is CD? Which is AD minus CA. It's nothing but we don't know this length. So that is nothing but VW1 minus U1 we can do for finding CD value. So finally we get BD by CD equal to VF1 by this length CD, VW1 minus U1. Okay. And now you can find right. So first you can find. So what you can do, first you can take these two before taking this tan theta. Immediately, first whatever you can do, we can find VF1 and VW1 when we have V1 and alpha values. Okay, it will be easy, right? So first we are finding VF1. So what is the value of V1? 20. So 20 sine alpha value is also 20. So please tell me the value of VF1. VF1 equal to
6.84, sir.
6.84 meter per second. Right. Next, you can find VW1 also. VW1 is the horizontal component of V1. So that is V1 cos alpha, 20 cos 20.
18.79.
18.79 meter per second. Okay, so these are all velocities only. VF1, VW1, all are velocities. So units will be meters per second only. Right. So next, after finding VF1 and VW1, you can use this triangle BCD. From triangle BCD, tan theta equal to VF1 by VW1 minus U1. Right. So now we have all the terms, that is VF1, VW1 and U1. So substitute the values and you can find theta. So tan theta equal to value of VF1 is 6.84 divided by VW1 18.79 minus what is the velocity u 10 meter per second, right? So theta equal to tan inverse of okay, so theta equal to tan inverse 6.84 by 8.79. Then you can find theta value. So theta equal to, please tell me the value.
0.7.
0.7. No, it's wrong. Check it once.
37.88.
Yes, it will be, remember, see here. If you see these both lines, always theta value will be more than alpha. Bend, you can see this is bent more. So angle will be less. This is little bit vertical. So angle will be more. So theta will be 37.8. One more digit if you have.
Yes, sir. 88.
88. Okay.
88.
Right. So 37.88 degrees. Right. So after finding theta, now we can find VR1. So from the same triangle, I am taking sine theta. Okay. So sine theta equal to VF1 by VR1. Right. That is the thing which I have written here. Sine theta equal to VF1 divided by VR1. So what we are finding? We are finding VR1 from this. So VR1 equal to VF1 by sine theta from this. So now you can substitute. What is the value of VF1?
19.9988, sir.
Directly VR1 you are telling. 1 second, I will substitute. 6.84 divided by sine 37.88. Yes, now you can tell the answer. VR1.
11.139, sir.
11.139.
Right, okay. 11.139 meter per second is the VR1. So in this problem, we already said there is no shock. So automatically this VR1 is also equal to VR2. So that also I'm writing here. So this value is also equal to VR2. Okay. So for solving this one, we need VR2 because we don't know any velocities up to now. V2 is not given, VF2, anything is not given. Only thing which is given is the angle, that is this one. Nothing but we got beta equal to 50 degrees, except that we don't have anything. So that's why what he said, he said that we don't have any losses or any shocks. So VR1 is equal to VR2. So there is one more condition for us now. Then only it will be easy for solving the remaining unknown terms here. Yes, if you have copied this, just inform, we'll go for the next slide. So now only we have calculated theta value, nothing but only at the inlet we have calculated the theta, vane angle theta. Now we need to calculate phi value at the outlet. This angle we need to calculate. Okay. Right. So now here we need to use the sine rule, right? We cannot, because we don't have any components, because we don't know anything. Here V2 we don't know anything, we don't know, right? So now we can use this sine rule. So what is sine rule? Roughly I'll tell. Right, assume that we have a triangle like this with 3 different angles. This is not 90, assume it is some angle. Assume this is X, this is Y, this is Z, and we have length here, L1, L2, and L3. These are the 3 lengths of the triangle. These are the 3 angles which are inside. Let us take it as X, Y, and Z. So sine rule states that this line, whatever the length you are taking, suppose assume this is L1 by opposite angle, this one, whatever the angle which is here, assume this is X, Y, Z. So what will get? Sine Z. L1 by sine Z will be equal to L2 by sine X, which is equal to L3, this length by opposite angle, sine angle, right? L3 by sine Y. So this is our sine rule formula. Okay, so same rule we are applying here for finding the unknown term as phi value. We need to find angle that we will find by using this sine rule. Okay, can I erase this? If you want, you can write roughly. Okay, so now you can see. So I am applying sine rule for the triangle E, G, and F because we want phi. Right, I am applying between E, F, and G. These three. Right, so what we can see. So VR2 we know already, which is equal to VR1. So VR2 is the line here. So what is the opposite angle? This one. This is the angle which we want to know. So what is this? VR2 by this angle we want. So total, if you see the horizontal line, it is 180 degrees minus beta. If you do, you can get this, right? So VR2 by sine 180 minus beta. So VR2 by sine 180 minus beta is equals to, we know this length as U2. So U2 by opposite angle is this one. For this length, opposite angle is this. So U2 by here, we will get beta minus phi. How? Right, roughly I will draw here, you can see. So this, assume it is G, F, and E triangle. So only thing which we know is here, this is beta. This one we know. Now we know this 180 minus beta, right? We want to know this angle. So this is, we know as phi. So what is this? You need to find. So let us take a horizontal line first. So already we know for two horizontal lines, if you have a line inclined like this, so opposite angles will be equal. So same thing, if you see this angle and this angle will be equal. This is phi. Similarly, if you see this line, this will be this length will be up to here. This will be beta. Okay, so for this line, same condition. If you see here, for this horizontal line at the both sides, this angle and this angle will be same. So beta here and beta here. Similarly, for this line, this one is phi and this one is phi. So what is the remaining line here? What is the angle which is left here between these two lines? That is, total is beta minus phi. If you do, you get this. So same thing which is written here, beta minus phi. Okay, so directly you can remember, or if you don't know, you can solve like this. Right, so now we know this is beta minus phi. So U2 is the length here, opposite side sine of the angle here. So sine of beta minus phi is the angle. So U2 by sine beta minus phi. So now what we can do, we can substitute VR2, which we got as 11.139. Okay, 11.139 by sine 180 minus beta value already we have calculated. What is that? 50. So 180 minus 50. U2 is 10. Sine 50 minus phi. Then you can find value of phi. Okay, just find the value of phi and inform me. Tell me the value. Okay, a little bit careful and do.
Sir, 6.550.
6.550.
Yes, sir.
Right, okay. Right. So after calculating this, first condition is over. What he said, he asked us to find the vane angles. Theta and phi has been calculated. Next, we need to calculate the work done. So work done formula, what we have rho A VR1 into VW1 plus or minus VW2 into U. Right. So that is a basic formula already we have seen in the last classes. I'll show once. Right, this one. So this is the force. This is a work done formula. Work done per second on the vane is W equal to rho A VR1 into U into VW1 plus or minus, depends on the angle position. So here the beta is less than 90, so you'll get plus value. Remember that. Okay, so that formula we need to use for finding the work done per second. But what he's asking here, he's asking work done per second per unit weight of water striking the vein per second. He's not asking just work done per second. He's also asking per unit weight of water striking the vein per second, right? Up to here, I think it is clear. So now you can calculate VW2 because we don't know VW2 here. We want VW2 for finding work done or efficiency, anything. So VW2 we need to calculate. So this one, this line GH is the horizontal component of VR2. So VR2 cos phi. You can take it as VR2 cos phi. One second, I'll show. The GH line is the component of VR2. So what you'll get, VR2 cos phi is equals to, what is this? U2 plus VW2. So this is a thing which we'll get from the resolution of VR2. VR2 in the X direction. VR2 in X direction is VR2 cos phi. So VR2 cos phi is equal to this length in the horizontal direction as U2 plus VW2. So from this, what we want VW2. So VW2 is equals to VR2 cos phi minus U2. Right. So now you can substitute this. So VW2 equal to, what is VR2 value? 11.14139. Yes, 11.139 into 11.1. The cos phi value already we got 6.550 minus 10. Okay, this is one single term. 11.139 cos 6.550 minus 10 will give you a VW2 value. So VW2 equal to
1.066
meter per second. Right. So already we have VR1 that we have calculated already, VR1 here, that is horizontal component of your V1. Right. So VR2 horizontal component, if you take VR2's horizontal component, we can find VW2. Right. So now next we'll go for the work done per second per weight per second. That is asking. Whatever he's asking, we need to find. So already we know the formula for work done. So we can find anything, whatever he's asking. Work done per weight or work done per mass, anything we can find. Right. So if you have copied this, just inform me. Right. So next we'll go for the second step. What is asking? Work done per second. We know the formula. This one. Only top one you can see. Work done per second is rho A VR1 into U into VW1 plus VW2 up to here. But what he's asking is also asking per unit weight of water striking the vein per second. What is this? Weight of water. So what we know the mass of water, rho A VR1. Mass per second we know. Water striking the vein per second. Weight per second is asking. So already we know mass per second. What is that? Mass flow rate already we know, no? Rho A VR1. We know mass per second as rho A VR1. But what is asking? Divided by per weight is asking. So weight is M into G, mass into G. So this term rho A VR1 is the mass. So mass into G. So that is the thing which I have written here. Okay. So suppose in some problems is asked work done per second per mass of water striking per second. So at that time we don't get G here because we are taking only the mass of water striking the vein, mass of the water striking the vein, right? So mass flow rate is rho A VR1, but here is asking the weight of the water striking the vein per second. So rho A VR1 into G, if you do, you'll get your weight here, right? So what happens? Rho A VR1 and rho A VR1 gets cancelled. So remaining things will be 1 by G into VW1 plus VW2 into U. So remember the unit of work done is Newton meter. Okay, Newton meter per Newton. Weight units will be Newton. Okay, so this is the unit for work done per second per unit weight of water striking the vein per second. Yes, you can substitute the values. Right, 1 second. Actually, what you'll get Newton meter. What is this? Work done per second. So Newton meter per second per weight per second. So second and seconds gets cancelled. So remaining will be Newton meter per Newton. Okay, so this will be the unit Newton meter per Newton. Yes, now you can substitute the values of this one. VW1 already we calculated 18.79 and VW2 just now we have calculated as 1.06 into U value already you know that is 10. Just tell me the value. What is the final value? Yes, I can give directly this formula to you, but you don't know how you got that. So that's why I'm showing this, how to get this work done per second per weight per second. So weight we are calculated by using the mass. Mass into G value gives your weight. Okay, so already we have mass per second, that is rho A into V, mass flow rate. So mass flow rate into G gives weight flow rate. Just tell the value.
20.24, sir.
20.24 units already I said. Newton meter per Newton. Okay, that's all. So only 1 minute time is left now. You can join immediately. We'll solve one more problem.